So here we are on what is going to be a warm Sunday, and we are leaving Loughborough Basin, heading further up the Soar, trying to find a spot where we can get our new sofa delivered in the week. Date yet to be confirmed, but also we have my stepson with us at the weekend, so we need to get to a certain point so that Darren can then cycle back to retrieve his van, bring it back to the boat, and then take William home later on this afternoon, early this evening. The joys of boat life. So we have just here in Loughborough used the services, so I've taken advantage and used the lovely running supply of hot water. We've emptied the rubbish, we've emptied the toilets, and we've filled up the water tank, so we're good to go for at least another week. And it's going to be a hot week, so we're going to be drinking lots of water, cordials, and obviously the glass of wine in between times. But so yes, so that's today's plan. So we're just about to set off, so join us for a warm Sunday cruise. Bye for now.
That's the home of the chain ferry, with an attendant just sat outside, and it goes along where we are here, and the disembarkment point is there. There's the ferry in the little bit. There's the attendant giving us a wave. There are some truly stunning properties as you go through Normanton on Soar. So if you come through this way and see a for sale sign, pop it into Google and depress yourself onto how much you really can't afford that rather beautiful house. We do it every time we come through. The Normanton Boat Club is just ahead of us. They did have a regatta on yesterday, but I don't think anyone's out today because it would be full of little sailboats. The only place you can moor along here, even though these all look very inviting, these are all private moorings, is there's a pub, and it's got space for about 3 boats, unless the large charity boat is on there, at which point you're probably down to 2 decent size boats on there. That's an example of one of the houses. Like I said, if you really want to upset yourself and see what you can't afford, then this is the place to look.
Beautiful.
You do get people wild swimming in here with little flotation buoys attached to their waists, almost like an inflated fender bobbing about. You can sometimes see them in the water. I don't know how clean it is here, but I have to say it's not something you'd catch me doing, knowing what's further upstream here with all the water treatment works, etc. But it does seem a popular spot, as next to the pub there's actually a slipway, and that's where people get down on paddle boards, and some people will bring little inflatable boats and kayaks and stuff. In fact, we're coming up to it, so I'll show you in a minute. There you go, that is literally the moorings along here, is from that little blue rowboat, that GRP and Peter Rees there. That is pretty much it along here.
Well, the rowboat's private.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, the rowboat's actually it's a private bit at the end, so it actually is from Piper Rees to the end of there. That is it. So you're either very, very lucky, or you are literally passing through.
So we'd struggled to get on there in our 62 footer, but previously on Kingfisher it was only 34. We could get in anywhere.
Yeah,
We?
yeah. On our previous boat, we could pretty much moor up on a pebble, to be honest. But not with Soraya. She's 62 foot. There's the slipway, and it is public access, so you can get down there, no problem at all. Now that chap's a fairly serious rower, as he's got a mirror. He's got a rear view mirror.
What a beautiful spot you have.
You ain't got time to row, you got that lawn to cut again. I can imagine. These are truly, truly stunning properties along here.
I think it's probably my favourite stretch.
It's one of my favourite stretches so far, because we do have a limited knowledge of the network, mainly the Leicester Ring and onto the Trent. But when you've got your own private swan, then you know you've made it in life.
I bet the grandkids love coming here.
That's a relatively newly built or reformed home. We've been past and seen them doing quite a lot of work on that. Huge windows going in, etc, etc. And there are some really quite traditional properties.
Hopefully the homeowners won't mind us sharing
No,
the footage.
no.
But at the end of the day,
We have
they're
one of our
beautiful.
favourite bits coming up, which is this little chap. I can't think I can zoom in. There you go. That little duck there, that's been carved out of that tree, and when we come around the other side, you'll see why it's trying to take off. Because on the other side, the camera's picking that up, and I have zoomed in, there's a cat carved out the same tree, trying to reach up to get him. It's well worth coming down here just to see that every time over the years. I'm just going to zoom back out. There we go. This is the boat club here. There was a regatta yesterday, we were led to believe, by the daughter of the Commodore here, so that should tell you something, the fact that the boat club has a Commodore. On the other side of the bank, in case you are wondering, it's fields of ragwort. Now those of you like me who come from a farming background will understand that you're not allowed to let that stuff grow, but it does grow. Government don't do bugger all about it, getting rid of it. You can, I mean, I used to take it out of our horse fields continuously and keep them clear, and then you'd go onto the roadside next to it and it'd be full of it, and the council would do nothing about it. So that's my little rant about ragwort. If you want to know what ragwort will do to you long term, Google it. If you want to know what it'll do to your animals and you suspect they've eaten it, Google it a bit quicker. But it's fatal, that stuff. Pretty, I have to say, it's quite a pretty plant, but fatal.
Morning.
Morning. Now these are your emergency mooring points during a flood. This is the River Soar. She goes Oh well, okay, she goes up and down very quickly. I was going to say up and down like a horse knickers, but I won't.
That's a new sign.
Yeah, they've put a new sign on. You tie on them at the top of the posts, and
Mooring dolphins, emergency flood dolphins.
and you might think they look quite high up, but when this river floods, boy does it go. It's devastating, this river. So that's why they're high up there, and your boat will get up there, no trouble at all. And it can happen so fast. As you can see on the markings, the difference between green and red, the amber is very, very small, because this river gets angry very quickly. It'll go down as quick. That's the thing, it can come up in sort of 24, 36 hours after heavy rain elsewhere in the country. And it's gone again 24 hours later, but it will shut the network here. You just have to tie up and hang on. But we cut our teeth on the River Soar, so we really didn't know any different until last year, till we went off the Soar and up onto the rest of the Grand Union and round the Leicester Ring. So we were quite used to fast flowing water, and I know a lot of boaters don't like going on rivers, but we started on rivers, so we have that great degree of healthy respect, especially for the River Soar. I'm always looking 3 or 4 days ahead on the weather, because you just never know what's coming. We have some wonderful little cottages along here that I bet are
Quirky little properties.
adorable. There's one coming up that I really quite like on the corner. Oh, we've got an inflatable two-man kayak in front. This
Is
one.
the one where there was that bench? with
The bench is
little
just round the bend. Yeah, the bench is on the next property. That's a nice little quirky. That's kind of what I'd envisaged for us once we give up boat life in our old age, when we're old and decrepit, so in about 3 weeks and 2 days. That sort of thing. A lodge or a park home near water. I'm more at home near water, as is Lisa.
Weir coming up, isn't there?
There's a big old weir on the left. We've got sheep in that field this time, and we got a couple of Canadian geese. And then we're coming under this bridge ahead of us and onto the canalised section down to Zooch Lock. There's normally a few moored boats down here, and there's a pub. We have been in that pub once on our first night when we got our little 30-foot Springer Kingfisher. That was our first stop. We moored outside there for the night and went in and had a pub meal. So just going to put a little bit of gas on just so we can get past this weir, because it does have a bit of tug on it. Hello. And there's the... When I come back on the cycle route, it brings me over that bridge on the road, and this is the first bit of the towpath it brings me onto. Now that looks shut, that towpath, unless you can get round it. You drank the coffee?
Yeah.
Duckies, I'm playing on the top of the weir.
With gas to get past the
Yeah, and speed.
weir, but not.
So this is Zooch Road Bridge, Bridge 43. It says there you are entering a canal section. There's often cars parked there because people could have put the van there yesterday evening and cycled back. Never give that a thought.
Me neither. Oh, cygnets of varying ages on the left. Oh, ducks as well. This is where the Lego men are in the window.
There are some Lego pirates up here. In fact, are they Lego men or are they Playmobil? No, I think they're Playmobil.
Oh, okay.
I think we can't get into a brand war. We'll end up in court.
We've been calling them Lego men, but they're
No,
not.
I think they're Playmobil. I think they.
You guys can tell us.
Yes, I'm not getting into a legal argument in court over copyrights.
They are interesting plastic figures which always make us smile as we cruise past.
These boats are always moored here. I believe they belong to the properties. So we have been up and down here quite a bit, but obviously we're off on a longer journey this time, but while we're covering home ground, it's quite nice to be in familiar places so you don't get caught out, but at the same time we want to see new places. Here they are. I think they are Playmobil. I'm not getting into a corporate argument with Mattel or whoever owns whoever, but I would say that they're Playmobil.
Given the hands.
Yes, Playmobil. And that's the pub. That's where we spent the first night on Kingfisher when we came up.
Yeah, our first overnight as a boat owner rather than a hirer.
It was right there where that narrowboat is now.
They've changed ownership recently,
Oh,
haven't they?
yeah. But apparently they're still doing food.
Oh, look at the little dashes.
There's a little doggies, little sausage dogs.
It is gorgeous.
Cutie!
I was talking to the dogs. Sorry.
And they have a beer garden, and they do have moorings here. You can literally moor at the pub. Well, there's moorings opposite, and all the way down to Zook's Lock, and then you're back out into the open countryside again. That is just cheap porridge oats and Rice Krispies, and they do seem to rather like them.